With the increase in the number of vaccines against COVID infection, the confusion about which vaccine to take is also increasing. In this video, we will do a comparative analysis of all the vaccines that are available against COVID-19 infection so far. We have inactivated viral vaccines such as Covaxin and Sinovac. Then we have mRNA vaccines, which includes Pfizer and Moderna. Then we have various viral vector vaccine, which includes AstraZeneca, Sputnik V, Johnson & Johnson's Janssen, CanSino, and now we have a new vaccine which is a plasmid DNA vaccine, that is our very own ZyCoV-D. So if we do a comparative analysis, then Covaxin is given in a dose of 2. 2 doses are given 28 days apart. AstraZeneca, which includes Covishield and Vaxzevria, it is given in 2 doses about 4 to 12 weeks apart. Currently it is being given 12 weeks apart. Sputnik V is given as 2 doses 21 days apart. Sputnik Light, however, is a vaccine that can be given as single dose, and this is one advantage of Sputnik Light over Sputnik V. And ZyCoV-D, which is a vaccine that has recently been introduced, is given in 3 doses. ZyCoV-D is a vaccine that is being studied for use in children. See, in efficacy, if you can see, there is a range in efficacy. There is 78 to 100%, 80 to 90%. For example, if you look at the efficacy range for Covaxin and Covishield, it is around 78 to 100%. What does this mean? That this vaccine is able to avoid symptomatic COVID infection in 78 to 80% of cases. However, this vaccine is effective in preventing COVID related severe complication that may land up in hospitalization or death in almost 100% of cases. Our aim is not to prevent infection after taking vaccination. Our aim is mainly to prevent deaths, hospitalization and severe complications after COVID infection, which is almost the same in every vaccine that is available now. So in that regard, you don't have to wait for any special vaccine. You can take any vaccine that is available to you. Now let's talk about warnings. These are the warnings that are issued by either the vaccine developers themselves or by WHO or FDA. Let me tell you one thing, the chances of dying because of COVID complication is much more than the chance of dying due to these rare side effects. These rare side effects do not justify you not going for vaccination. Covaxin, because it is an inactivated viral vaccine, it contains a virus. Therefore, it should be avoided in people who are immunocompromised. If somebody is HIV positive, or they are on cancer chemotherapy agents, or they are on long-term steroid therapy, organ transplant recipients. AstraZeneca and Johnson & Johnson's Janssen, these are the 2 vaccines that are associated with blood clots. AstraZeneca includes Covishield and Vaxzevria. Both these vaccines have been associated with blood clots, but you need to understand that the incidence of blood clot is extremely rare. It is 1 in 3 to 5 lakh. This incidence is very close to the incidence that is seen in general population in people who are not vaccinated. Similarly, Pfizer and Moderna comes with FDA warning that it may lead to pericarditis or myocarditis, which is heart inflammation. Again, these are extremely rare side effects. In fact, only 12 cases were seen in 1 million people who received second dose of Pfizer or Moderna. Johnson & Johnson's Janssen is associated with blood clots and Guillain-Barré syndrome in certain cases, again extremely rare. So it is not that these COVID vaccines are associated with these disastrous complications or rare side effects. It's just that it is being discussed for the first time. These are not the first vaccines to have these side effects. In fact, let me tell you that swine flu vaccine, when it was introduced, it came with a leaflet saying that it was associated in rare cases with Guillain-Barré syndrome. But still everybody took this vaccine. See, vaccine play a very important role in fighting against infections. We were able to eradicate smallpox with good effective vaccination. We are on the verge of eradicating polio because of effective vaccination. See, these rare side effects can also help you understand which vaccine to take. So if you are immunocompromised, then you can go for AstraZeneca, you can go for Sputnik V, Pfizer or Moderna. or if you are somebody who has had a history of blood clots, who's had high risk of forming blood clots, who's on blood thinners, you can choose Sputnik V or Covaxin instead. If you are somebody who already has heart condition, who already has heart disease, then instead of taking Pfizer or Moderna, you can go for any other form of vaccine. Another question that is often asked is, doctor, my parents, they are diabetic and they are hypertensive, can they take vaccine? Of course, for sure, they in fact should go for vaccination, because these are very important candidates for vaccination. COVID complication is seen more commonly in people who have these comorbid conditions, especially diabetes. Pfizer has shown to be 88% effective against symptomatic infection and 96% effective against hospitalization due to this variant. And Moderna, the results are similar. Rest of the vaccines are proven to be good and effective against Delta variant, because these were given when Delta variant was coming into picture, especially in India. As far as approval is concerned, Pfizer, Moderna, Johnson & Johnson's Janssen, these have been approved worldwide. Covishield is getting into the picture. Covaxin will probably get WHO approval. About Sputnik V, currently WHO and FDA and EMA, they have not approved Sputnik V. There are few other issues with Sputnik V which were covered in my previous video, and there were so many queries about it. So it is very important for you all to listen to this very carefully. First of all, Sputnik V has an efficacy of 91.6%. Although the phase 3 trial had only 38 participants, the raw data has not been provided and it has not been approved by WHO, FDA or EMA. But however, a lot of people so far have received Sputnik V without any serious side effects. More than 2 billion people have already been vaccinated, so you can very well go ahead with this vaccine. Second is the doubt about HIV acquisition. See, adenovirus 5 had led to increase in HIV acquisition some 10 years back when HIV vaccine was being studied. However, it is important for you to understand the meaning of this given information. See, you cannot get HIV just because you took this vaccine. HIV is a virus that spreads through infected blood, that spreads through sexual intercourse with somebody who has HIV. You cannot get HIV virus from thin air. Third is adenovirus multiplication. What is adenovirus? It is a virus that causes common cold. Even if the virus of common cold multiplies a little bit, there are some studies that it will not cause any severe side effects. Especially for people who have taken first dose and they are skeptical on taking second dose of Sputnik V. Now I am getting a lot of queries about cross vaccination. Doctor, what if I have taken first dose of Sputnik V and now I change my mind and decide taking some other vaccine instead of taking the second dose? Cross vaccination has not been studied very well. However, it is said that the level of protection will not be as good as taking the two recommended doses, especially with Sputnik V, because Sputnik V is designed such that there are two different types of adenovirus, so that it gives you a boost. Then certain other vaccines also demand some attention. Novavax is under trial. It is one of its own kinds. It is a protein adjuvant vaccine with good efficacy. Sinovac is a vaccine developed in China. So first of all, there is no one shortcut answer for everybody. Don't ask which vaccine is the best, just tell us that one name, because it is not easy. You may argue on the efficacy, you may argue on few side effects, you may argue on its approval if you have to travel abroad. So see which vaccine is best for you. If you are a low risk person who does not have any comorbidity, then you can take any vaccine that is available to you. I am not against any vaccine, I am not in favor of any vaccine. Stay safe and stay healthy.